Okay, we're getting in a lot of responses. Hi, Kavita from London. Um, Hi, Anand from Delhi. Uh, Hi, we're getting a few participants from South Africa. Raymond from Nigeria. Um, Dheeraj from Bihar, from Chennai. Ruchita from Bangalore. Harsh from Jharkhand. From South Africa. Neil from Virginia. Riaz from Bangladesh. Great. I mean, it's a lot of participants from all over the world. Now we're also live on YouTube and LinkedIn, and we have more participants joining us. A very, very warm welcome to everyone. Let me introduce myself quickly. My name is Ananya, and I'll be hosting this session on behalf of Simplilearn today. I'm positive that this is going to be a great session. We have one of our very own instructors joining us as the expert and guide. So there's going to be a lot of learning for everyone here. Really glad to have everyone participating. So let's get started right away. We have some ground rules for the session that we request everyone to follow. Number one, please drop any questions that you have in the Q&A box and not in the chat box. We keep getting a lot of messages in the chat box, so we might end up missing yours. So please use the Q&A box effectively. We will try to answer all your queries during the session or at the end of it. Secondly, avoid any external sharing any external link or personal details in the chat box, and keep the conversation only relevant to the topic at discussion here. And finally, Simplilearn will be giving a attendance certificate to you for being part of this session, that you can update on your resume, you can post on your LinkedIn, update on social media, etc. So for this certificate, we will need your full name that you'll have to give us at the end of the poll that will be launching in the poll that will be launching at the end of the webinar. It will take about 48 working hours for us to generate the certificate and provide you. And in case if you don't receive it, or if there's any issue, you can write to us at webinars@simplylearn.net and we'll look into it. Right. So with that, we can get started. Here's a brief glimpse into what we'll be covering in today's session. The basics of what Agentic AI is all about and its relevance in the job market today. Then our expert will take over and demonstrate how a workflow is automated using Agentic AI. Then we'll look into some real world applications of workflow automation and how it's being adopted in different industries. And lastly, we'll take you through one of our professional certificate programs on Gen AI and machine learning, and discuss why this could be very crucial for your career. Right. So, just a little curious to know, has anyone out here attended a Simplilearn webinar before, or is it your first time? Please let us know in the chat. We're like just eager to understand everyone better. Yes, first time, a lot of first timers here. Great. Um, you're saying that you've also, attended webinars before, and some of you are even learners with us already. That's amazing. Great. One webinar, first time. Great. Okay. Um, right. So that brings me to introducing Simplilearn bit briefly. We provide certifications and career-aligned paths in various categories like project management, Gen AI, data science, AI, ML, cybersecurity, and more. We have helped over 8 million people in their career growth across 150 plus countries, with more than 50 partnerships globally. And speaking of partnerships, you can see the list of amazing partners that we have here. This includes prestigious institutions like IIT, Purdue University, University of Michigan, and even leading organizations such as Google, Microsoft, and IBM. But what we're really, really proud of is how our programs have impacted careers. Our learners have reported a 50% salary hike on average, and have also rated our programs 4.8 on Phi overall. And this brings me to introduce our guest, Solomon Promise, who will be the expert guiding us through this session. Just a little bit of introduction about him. He's been a data science instructor for years now and has trained thousands of learners. He's been ranked in hackathons and is known for his exceptional problem solving skills. You can also see the list of his notable projects here, which all highlight his ability to work with diverse data sets and also apply advanced data science techniques to generate insights and solutions. Solomon, I extend you a very, very warm welcome. It'd be great if you can also add on to that introduction and say your hi to the hundreds of participants we have here.
Hi, thank you for having me. Can you hear me?
Yes, Solomon, we can hear you.
All right. Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here with you. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are joining from. And I'm sure that today it's going to be a great session together. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Solomon, for that. So without any further ado, let's get started with the first topic of the session, which is Agentic AI Foundations. Yes, so we do see quite a few of freshers here and students as well. So Solomon, it will be great if you can take us also through, the basic of what Agentic AI is all about, and how does it differ from AI in general? Okay, I believe Solomon is having some network issue. Let me just try to see if he is. Yes. Okay. So yeah, Solomon will be joining us very shortly. He might have had a network problem at his end. Um, Meanwhile, you can. I mean, we have. Yes, Solomon. Hi. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Yes. Okay, so I'll throw the question back at you again. We would like to start the session by understanding like the basics of what agentic AI is. So if you can tell us, like in the simplest term possible, what it is all about and how it's different from AI in general, that'd be great.
All right. Thank you so much. So I'll start by saying that agentic AI is more like a natural evolution from the natural or the traditional large language models we have. So back before now, we have large language models like ChatGPT, Cloud AI, and several of these large language models. And what these large language models do is that they are basically creatives. So you give them a task, they are able to create maybe a text for you, they're able to generate a code, they're able to maybe a picture, a video. So they are very intelligent when it comes to generating outputs. However, when it comes to being autonomous, these large language models, despite how intelligent they lack that ability of being autonomous. There's something we call React, whereby they are able to reason and also take action. Large language models can reason, large language models can give you outputs, beautiful outputs, but they are not able to automate. So that is the evolution whereby or the transition from just being able to create output to being able to reason and also act. So agentic AI is more like a build up on large language models, whereby large language models are the brain. Large language models are the brain behind agentic AI. Yeah, so it's an upgrade. It's different from the normal AI. However, there are similarities. For the large language AI, you give an input, and you get an output, you have to give instructions. But when it comes to agentic AI, you do not need to give detailed instructions. All you need to give is a description and a goal. So that's agentic AI, and that's how it differs from large language models, yeah, that we already know. Over to you.
Okay, yeah, that's very cleverly put, Solomon. Thank you. So let's discuss a bit about how the adoption of autonomous AI has been on the rise in the market of late. Why do you think, Solomon, agentic AI has been the biggest buzzword lately? Is there like a massive skill gap in the market that is causing the explosion?
Yes, there are several things causing these explosions. And like I said previously, large language models are the brain behind agentic AI. And today we see that we have powerful based large language models from ChatGPT to Lemma. There are several large language models. Because of this breakthrough in large language models, that is one of the things giving to an explosion in agentic AI as we see today. One other thing is also the tools and the frameworks. We have several tools, we have several frameworks like LangChain, RAG tools, vector-based, Crew AI, which is the one I'll be demonstrating today. There are several tools and there are several frameworks out there. Because of the availability of these tools and framework, it's also exploding the use case of agentic AI in today's world. Also, there is the clear return on investments. Like I said previously, large language models allows you type in, you get outputs, but they are not autonomous. For example, if a company wants to build an agent that is going to be engaging in research, they would need somebody always giving info to the large language model. But when it comes to agent, it's going to be an autonomous system on its own. Just give it the goal and tell it what you want. It's going to continue doing that. So because of all of the use cases of agentic AI, there is an explosion. And somebody once says the future of AI is agentic. And so this is me also saying that agentic AI is going to keep exploding and exploding. So these are some of the reasons why there is an explosion in the use of agentic AI in today's world. Thank you.
Right, amazing. And the stats that we see here, pretty much prove what you just said. The AI market, specifically the Gen AI market, is predicted to touch more than $660 billion by 2030, growing at an average, annual rate of 24.4%. So, Solomon, if someone decides to pursue a certification in Gen AI or AI/ML, what roles or positions could they aim to achieve?
All right. So there are several rules out there, several rules, from being an agentic AI engineer, someone that specifies in building autonomous agents using different frameworks, to being an AI software architect, someone that designs the high-level infrastructure of how these AIs are integrated with legacy system, to being an automation engineer. You specialize in connecting AI agents to tools like Zipper, Make, Custom AI. So there are several roles out there, being an LLM application developer, a product manager, an AI product manager. This is one of the roles that is going to keep expanding in today's world, because as we keep building, we need managers, product managers. Now, the product manager is not necessarily a technical role, but someone that can ensure that the business aspect of the role of the production and everything going on there is met. So this is me saying that there are several roles. Back then, we had just the role of a data scientist, a machine learning engineer, but today we have several roles: generative AI engineers, MLOps engineers, several roles, because we need people that have specific expertise in the different field or the different specializations of AI that we have out there. So having a certification gives you that extra level of advantage to land one of these roles we have out there. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, so now that we've established the context, regarding AI's impact and its growth potential, I think it's time to get into the practical work. So Solomon, it's over to you. To all the participants, just a little briefing. Solomon will now guide us through the process of automating workflows using Agentic AI. If you have basic understanding of this topic, feel free to follow along with Solomon. However, we really do encourage everyone to take this opportunity to observe each step and learn. You will be receiving a recording of this session, which you can replay at your convenience and practice at your convenience. So yes, Solomon, the stage is all yours. You can share your screen and take it forward.
All right, thank you. So I'll be sharing my screen now. This is a demo session. Before I share my screen, I want to say I'll be using crew AI for the demonstration. Crew, like when you have a crew of several persons working together, that's what I'll be using for the demonstration. Meanwhile, we have several other frameworks you can actually use out there, from LangChain to LangGraph. There are different architectures you can actually use out there, but I'm going to be using Crew AI. And one of the reasons I'll be using Crew AI is what I would be showing now as I share my screen. All right, so my screen is up. Please confirm if you can see my screen. You can just give a thumbs up and I'll know you can see my screen. All right, so I'm using Crew AI because of the fact that it allows us to just prompt. Yeah, using just prompts, we can build agentic AIs. Now, for other frameworks, also for Crew AI, you can build agentic AIs using codes, but because this is a demonstration and I want to make it as easy as possible, something you can actually replicate after the workshop. That's why I'm using Crew AI. Yeah, they are free. There is the free trial there, so you could use it after this workshop, test it out, and see what you'll be doing. Now, I would be building an agentic AI that would take the minutes of a meeting, analyze the minutes, and send out emails to the respective participants. So it's going to take the minutes of the meeting, analyze the meeting, and send out emails to the relevant participant. This is a very business use case, because every businesses have meetings. Maybe you are having your meeting on Zoom. For example, we are having a demo session, and if we have an AI note taker on this call, at the end of the day, the AI note taker would have taken a note that lasts for maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour. And because of the fact that we live in a fast-paced world, we want to summarize the information and take out just the key findings, the key insights, send them out to maybe all of the participants. Now, prior to agentic AI, you would need a human to go through all of the information, or you need to send that meeting notes to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to analyze it, and then you get the output before you send it out. But what I'm going to do today is that you see how with agentic AI, I just need to build the solution, and it's going to take the text, the minutes of the meeting, analyze it itself, and send out the emails to the relevant participants. So let me show you the minutes I would be using. So we just briefly look at it together, and I'm going to be using prompts. Yeah, so if you can prompt, if you've used ChatGPT before now, you've used any of the large language models before now, you can basically also do what I would be doing today. It's going to be as easy and as practical as possible. So this is the meeting note I would be using. This is the meeting note I would be using. So I would build an agentic AI that would take these meeting notes, analyze it, get out the key inputs, and send it out to relevant participants. We don't have time. I would have asked us to read through the notes ourselves and analyze it ourselves so that we can verify the output of the agentic AI at the end of the day. But let's see how far we can go. And if we go that far, I'm going to do that. But I want to build this AI or this autonomous agentic AI in a stage-by-stage manner. It's going to be more like an evolution. I'll start by building a single agent. And after building a single agent, I'm going to build 2 more agents, 3 more agents, and eventually I'll build 4 agents. So a single agent is not very efficient. It's going to get to do all of the tasks. But in the world of agentic AI, the best thing to do is always to build what we call multi-agents, whereby the different agent is specialized with a particular task. They all have their different role. Take, for example, we work in an organization and I'm the project manager, you are the product developer, we have the web designer, and we have the product designer. Everybody has their specialized role and their specialized goal. That would be a more efficient company compared to a company whereby one person does all of the tasks. So the first AI I will be building, the first agentic AI I will be building, just one agent will be doing all of the tasks. I already have my prompts prepared because this is a demo session so that we can make it as fast as possible. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to copy and paste. Meanwhile, let me show you this. This is the website, Crew AI. You have to sign in. I already have signed in and I'm using Crew Studio. So once you sign in, you can come to Crew Studio. There's an interface like this that allows you prompts. So this is my prompts. I want to build a simple single agent automation and create an agent called Meeting Assistant. This is going to be the name of the agent. The goal. So every agent has a goal and the tool he works with. Now, not every agent would have a tool depending on the goal of that agent. The goal of this agent is to analyze raw text meeting notes and send a summary email. Analyze raw text meeting notes and send a summary email. It's going to be using Microsoft Outlook. I'll be using Microsoft Outlook for this demonstration. And the task for this agent is to accept raw text input containing meeting notes. So for this demonstration, I'll be sending the text output as a raw text. Yes, for industrial use case, we need to build it in such a way that it is automated. But because this is a demonstration session, I will just feed it the raw text. It's going to analyze the text to identify key decision points, send an email to, I'm going to impute the email I'll be sending it to. I want it to send it to my email. So that is a demo email for this demonstration. Now, the subject of the email should be meeting summary. So this is my prompt. And all I need to do to build this workflow is to send this prompt. So once I click this, we'll see what happens. If you are following, you can give a thumbs up. So I see you are following. Now, once you give the Crew AI Studio your chat, it starts creating. Now, this is what I fed it. It's already thinking. This is the thought process. We would not have all of the time to read through everything, but it's already creating the agent for us. Now, this is the agent it has created. I'm going to take us through this agent just for a few minutes so we get what's going on here. But let's wait for it to finish thinking. Once it's done, we'll move on. Now, this was the input I gave it. I want to build a simple single agent automation and I wanted to have Microsoft Outlook as the tool. These are the tasks I wanted to perform, and I'll skip all of this, then come to this. You have your meeting, perfect. Your meeting assistant automation is now ready. Here is what I've created. Your automation setup. This is the name of the agent, just like I instructed. This is the goal of the agent, the tool, expertise, and every other thing. Now, let me show you something here. When I click on this, this is the name of the agent, meeting assistant, and that's also the role of the agent, meeting assistant. Now, for this demonstration, I will be using OpenAI GPT-4 mini LLM or model. There are several models out there. Once you click on this, there are several models: OpenAI, Anthropic, Azure OpenAI, Grok, Gemini. You can select any of the models you want to use, but for this task, I will be using OpenAI. Now, for the different model, you need to also input your API. Yeah, I'll show you that if I have the time to do so. So you can select your model. Now, this is the tool. The tool has been added, Microsoft Outlook. Remember, I told it I wanted to have a tool, and the tool should be Microsoft Outlook. Now, the LLM also has a setting. This is the temperature. The temperature determines how creative the LLM can be. I told us when I started that the LLM is the brain of the agentic AI. Now, when you set the temperature, it determines how creative you want it to be. If you set it to 0, we are saying you don't want it to be creative. You can see it here, 0.1 to 0.3 for factual responses, 0.7 to 0.9 for creative tasks. If you want it to be very creative, you can increase it to 0.9 and 1.0. Or if you just want a straight jacket output, there are different use cases for all of this. But for my demonstration, I will be using the default. I'll be using the default. Now, we have agent setting, reflect on a task, create a plan before execution. Now, we can turn this on to allow our agent reason. It allows our agent to reason. So it's going to reason. How long do we want it to reason? Let me just set it to be 2. To be 2. Now, allow delegation. It's not delegating to any other AI. It's just a single AI. So it won't be delegating. So I'm done with this. I'll leave the response format just like how the default, and I save this. Now, you can decide to just use the default output of format without doing any of this. But what I'm trying to do is to take it further so you can see what's going on there. Now, this is the agent. This is the task. Let me open this for you to see. So, analyze meeting note and send summary email. Remember, when I created this AI, I gave it a task, the goal rather, analyze meeting note and send a summary email. So this is the goal of the email. This is the description. Every agent has a description. Because I am using prompts, Crew AI has automatically created this for me. But you can also edit this if you want it edited. Yeah, but you can see the description of this agent. Carefully analyze the raw meeting notes provided. I'm going to provide a meeting note for it to extract key discussion points, decision made, and action points. Then compose. Now, this is the description. This description is a memory, more like a knowledge bank the agent would use. This is a knowledge bank the agent would use. Now, after that, the next thing I have is the expected outcome. Expected outcome. This is the expected outcome. So for every agent, there has to be a goal, a description, and an expected outcome. For every agent, there has to be a goal, a description, and an expected outcome. There's also something called guardrails, but I'm not going to be talking about that for now, so I can keep this within the time frame I have. So this comprises of the goal, the description, and the expected outcome. All of this together is what we call context engineering. All of this together is what we call context engineering. Context engineering is very similar to prompt engineering. Yeah, but in this case, it's more broad. We are providing the entire context the agent needs for the task. We are providing the entire context the agent needs for the task. So I save this. After saving this, I'm going to run my automation. Now, what we are doing is prototyping. We are prototyping. Before you put anything into production, you'd have to prototype and be sure it's working very fine. So that's basically what we are doing. So I have an icon here that allows me run my automation to be sure it's working properly. So once I click on this, my automation would run. Meanwhile, I have something by my right that is called triggers. For this demonstration, I'm not going to be using a trigger, but triggers are used for automated tasks. For example, you want to trigger this action every time a meeting is completed. You trigger this action. So you can schedule your trigger. Let me just click on this. You can schedule your trigger to be weekly, runs once a week. If you have ever scheduled a meeting on Google Calendar, if you schedule a meeting on Google Calendar, it's very similar to what you have there. So this schedule is what we make it automated. It's going to be triggered at that time again and again. It's going to keep triggering. But for this use case, I am not going to set any trigger. I'm just going to run this and let's see. Now, I clicked on the run icon and this is more like the backstage. More like the backstage. In this stage, we have the description. This is what we saw previously and the expected outcome and the goal. So this is more like the context for the agent. Now, I'm going to go back to my meeting notes, copy my entire meeting notes. I'm going to copy my meeting notes and I'll paste it into this. You can see enter meeting notes. So I'm going to paste it this. So for this agent I built, is going to be using my meeting notes. But when you want to build yours, you can automate it to get your meeting notes directly from your Google Drive or from Microsoft OneDrive, any of your cloud storage out there. But that's, I'm just keeping it simple for this use case. So now let's execute. Now, output, a professional email sent to solomon4@gmail.com. Now, I'm going to execute. It's going to run. This is how we know it's executing. When it is done executing, I would go back and check my mailbox to see if an email has been sent. So let's see. You can also see that it's running here. You can see it's running here. You can see this is busy. It's also working. All right, so you can see the output. An email has been successfully sent to solomon4@gmail.com. So I'm going to check the email to see if it actually sent the email or not. So let me check the email. So if it did not check the email, then something is wrong. But if it sent the email, then we know our automation worked properly. Now, can you see it just sent this email? It just sent this email. This email was sent 4 minutes ago. It was sent 4 minutes ago. So, but take a look at this. It's not very, very perfect. I do not have my signature there, and I am also not, my text is not properly formatted. Yes, okay, let me give you a few minutes to clap. Some people are clapping and some are happy. Yeah, so you see that it actually worked. All we needed to do was tell the agent what to do, give it context. We gave it context, and it took the meeting notes, analyzed the meeting notes, and sent out the information. Now, a few things are wrong with this anyway, which we are going to adjust. We are going to adjust. One of the things you would notice that for all of the action points, it didn't include specific dates. Yeah, so we are going to try to fix all of those things. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I will come back to this agent and I would tell it to create another agent. Now let me just copy my prompt and paste it. So this time around, I would not explain all of the things I've explained previously. So let me make this bigger. I'm sure you can all see my screen. All right, trying to make it bigger so you can see this. So this is the next prompt. I want to improve the automation by splitting the responsibility into 2 specialized agents. So before now, just one agent was performing all of the tasks, but we want better analysis. So we will split it into 2 so that one agent will be focused on the analysis, while the other agent is focused on writing the email. One agent is focused on the analysis, the other agent will be focused on writing the email. So I'm telling it agent 1, meeting analyst. That's the name, or that's the role. The role is the brain. The goal is to deeply analyze the meeting notes, extract critical insight, risks, and specific action points. Now, the next agent will be the email coordinator. This agent is the communicator. So after agent 1 is done analyzing the meeting notes, agent 2 is responsible for sending out a professional email. It's going to take the analyzed meeting note from agent 1. It's like 2 different personnel working together. So now it's going to update this. Now let's allow it to do this. I'm going to come back to the visual why it does this. So see, we have just one agent now, but when it's done, we would have 2 different agents. Now, let's just give it a few minutes. Meanwhile, like I told you, you can do all of these things with codes. Yeah, but we are not doing codes today. I'm keeping this very simple so that anybody, regardless of your coding experience, you actually can get to do this. Now you see that we have 2 different agents: email coordinator, meeting analyst. 2 different agents, meeting analysts. That's what it's also trying to tell us here. So perfect, your automation, it has created the 2. It gave it the role, senior business analyst with 15 years of personal experience. Now, if you notice, I didn't include all of this in my prompt, but it fed it in for me based on what I did. Now, this is the goal. This agent is not going to be using any tool. Remember, I told you that not all agents would have a particular tool. Tools are like the hands. LLMs are the brain, tools are the hand. So if an agent does not need to do any other thing aside reasoning with the LLM, then it doesn't need a tool. For example, agent has to only, the goal of agent 1 is to analyze the meeting notes. All it needs to do that is the brain, not the hand. Agent 2 is the email coordinator. Is going to take the analyzed meeting notes and transform it into a professional email. After that, it will send it out. Now, for it to transform it to a professional email, it needs a brain, which is the LLM. But for it to send it out, it needs a tool. So you see that we have, let me make this way. This is the first agent. Is going to take the meeting note, analyze it, and send it to the second agent. This agent has a tool, and this does not have. Now I'm going to just, I've shown you this before, so I will not bother, I would not spend so much time on that anymore. So this is the description. This is the description, and this is the expected output for this agent. This is the context for this agent. And we move on to the next agent. It's going to send it to this other agent when it's done. For this other agent, we also have the description, expected output, and every other thing I've shown you before. So we now have two agents. What is expected here is that our output should be better than the first one because we have two agents now working together. So let me run this and let's see what the expected outcome would look like. This is the back end, excuse me. I have already provided my meeting notes, so I don't need to do that again. I just need to execute. So it's executing. You can see that it's still running. If we come to the visual editor, you see it's running. It is running. It's busy. This is completed, and this is now running. You can see how the work is done. One agent is done with his tasks. It passes it on to the next agent to continue his tasks. Are we all following? If you are following, can you give a thumbs up? If you are following, can you give a thumbs up? All right, so we are waiting for the second agent to get done with his tasks. So let's check this out. It has completed the tasks again. So now let's see what we have here. Let me go back to my email to see if I have another email that was sent. Okay, so it seems my email was not sent. I'm going to run it again. So we get the second email and compare. Yes, this message is the message is supposed to send to the email. This is part of the message you're supposed to send to the email. Dear team, this is the output of the message. Let me take this a little down. So this is what it's supposed to send. It drafted the email rather, but it did not send it. I think the tool failed, so I'm going to try that again. Oh. All right, so let me check my email again. Okay, so I have an email that it just sent now. This is the first one, sent 16 minutes ago. It has sent the other one. All right, so this is the second one. Now you can see that this is sent just 4 minutes ago. You see that this is more detailed. This is more detailed. This is more detailed. Key discussion points, critical decisions made, risks identified, action items, and next steps. This is more detailed compared to the first one. Now, the reason is because this is a multi-agent, or we have multi-agents working together. One agent specialized on extracting, analyzing the meeting notes, while the other agent is specialized in sending out the email. Are we together? Can you give a thumbs up if you are still with me? All right, I can see just one thumbs up. Let me see more. Great, great. It's good to know we are together. Now, so we can go on and on. We can go on and on to keep adding more agents. We can go on and on to keep adding more agents. My plan was to add 4 agents, and agents that will be specialized in ensuring that every email is verified. Let me do this. I'm going to do this very fast in about few minutes so we can wrap this up. So I'm going to send a third agent, and I want this agent to act more like the human in the loop. So before the agent sends out an email, I want an agent that verifies the information to ensure that the email is professional, in tune, and it's also very diplomatic. So I'm adding, take a look at this. I want to expand this a little. All right. So the first agent remains the name from meeting analyst to scope analyst. The next agent now is a new agent I'm creating. Is going to be the copywriter. Then the third agent is a senior project manager. This project manager is a reviewer. The goal of this agent is to review the copywriter's drive. So after this agent drafts an email, the third agent will review it. The third agent will review it. So I want to do this before I move on. All right, so let me do this. Now I've sent this. It's going to build the third agent. It's going to build the third agent. I won't do the fourth agent because of time, so we can ask our questions and wrap up. So once I'm done with this third agent, I'll hand over to our host. So I'm almost done with the third agent. You can see the third agent, which is the senior project manager. This is the first agent, scope analyst, copywriter, project manager. So we have 3 agents now, 3 agents. So everything is fine now. But before I do this, I want to ensure that my email is now properly formatted. I want to ensure my email is properly formatted. And I want to also ensure that there is an executive summary for the meeting notes sent out, an executive summary. So I'm going to add this. I'm going to add this extra prompt. I want to upgrade this to an enterprise level solution. And just 2 changes so that I don't build the 4th agent. 2 changes. The first one is HTML and branding. So I'm going to give it a signature. You've noticed that for the previous email sent, there are no signatures. Best regard, no name, no position, and it's not properly formatted. So I want to fix these 2 things. And this is a lot of information. I want to add an executive summary so that once you open the email, you already get what it's talking about. So that's why I'm adding this. So I'm going to send it in. It's going to update. And after that, I would execute. So basically, I'm updating the copywriter, and I'm also updating the scope analyst. So for the copywriter, I'm telling it, ensure that you send out emails in HTML formats, and you also add my signature. So let's get this done, and we send out the mail and we'll wrap it up. Are you learning something new today? All right. I'm glad we are all learning something new. So it has updated my agents. It has updated my agents. See the updates that was made. Would have tables for structured presentation, would have headers, would have lists. Now let me run this, then we'll come to an end. Yes, this email is a demo email, please. It's not my personal email, it's a demo email. So this is still running. This is completed. The next is now running. You can also see that it's also running here. This is completed. The third is now running. So I'll be checking for the mail now. in a few minutes, it should send the mail. Quill AI has a paid plan, but I'm currently using the free tier, so you can also use the free version to practice. So everything I'm using is completely free. Yeah, so you can practice also. So if you take a look at this, this is what the email would look like. A more structured email in HTML format. This is a very structured email in HTML format. Now it said it's completed. The email has been sent to Solomon. So let me check to confirm if an email has been sent or not. Okay. So it's running into the same issue. Let me say this. I think this has to do with the free version. If you see what is showing here, it's saying tool usage finish, tool usage finish. So I'm going to run this again so that it sends us the last email. We've seen 2 emails that has been sent. I just wanted to send us the 3rd email that is properly well formatted so that we compare that and I'd hand over to our host for the day. So if it takes time, we would continue. Then after that, I will show us the output. All right, so maybe I hand over to our presenter then. Once this is done running, I will show us the output. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, Solomon. We have some very interesting questions that have come our way. So while this is running, maybe we could, also take a couple of questions from our participants. So this is specific to the demo that you showed. So what happens when there are no deadlines or next steps in the meeting? Suppose it was a meeting where a specific decision was required to be made. How would the agent handle this?
All right, so like I said, every agent has a brain, and the brain is a large language models. Large language models on their own can react. There's something called react. Now, react is broken down into 2, reason and act. Reason and act. The brains of these models allow them to reason. So they can reason, right? And they can act. Now, the reason will be based on the meeting notes. If I give it a meeting note where there are no deadlines, just decisions that were met, it's going to, don't forget, the second agent was asked to deeply analyze the meeting notes. So based on the analysis of the meeting notes, that's what will be sent out. Now, when this is built and put into production, you would not be using just a particular every meeting will have different minutes, right? So you keep, once the minute comes in, it analyzes it as a particular use case. And this is because of the fact that the brain is a large language model. So regardless of if there's a deadline or not, it wouldn't affect the functionality. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So are the meeting notes obtained, the meeting notes that you showed, was that obtained by converting voice recording with voice to text?
Okay, no, that was not a voice to text. I prepared that for this demo session. It was not a voice to text. Yeah, but you could use
Okay.
a voice to text.
Um,
Yeah, if you have an API that you link to a meeting. For example, if you have an AI note taker, for example, if we have an AI note taker at this meeting, at the end of the day, the AI note taker would have taken the notes. You can link the AI note taker to your agent, right? You can link the AI note taker to your agent such that after your meeting is done, the AI note taker sends the note. It's an API call. It sends the notes directly to your agent. And instead of copying and pasting like I did, it takes it directly after the meeting and it begins to analyze it. So it becomes completely autonomous. From the meeting, everybody gets, you don't need somebody writing. Yeah, so I think that clarifies that.
Okay. Is the recipient email just one or several emails could be added? Is
All
there a
right,
limit
several
to
emails can be added. Yes, I limited that because of the want of time, but several emails can be added. So before we go on, let me show us the third email. It just arrived now. See what it looks like. It looks much more better than what we had here and what we had here. So this has a meeting summary that gives a summary of everything. It has tables. Yeah, so you can see it also has my signature now attached to it because we added HTML. Yeah, so over to you, presenter. Sorry for.
Yes, of course. We have one very relevant question about security and confidentiality. What if the email has some confidential data? Will that be safe?
Yeah, so the agent we just build is not necessarily accessing your email, just like I can send you an email, right? So if I send you an email, I'm not necessarily accessing your email box. I'm just sending an email to you. Yeah, so for that, there is no issue of security. And like I gave an instance, if you link it up to your API, that issue of security would also be dealt with. Yeah, so for that, I think that's what I can say about that at the moment.
Okay. Yes, we do have a few more questions, Solomon, but we'll see if we have time to take that. So let me share my screen and go to. I hope my screen is visible. Yes. So we'll quickly, take a look at what are the real world applications of what we just learned. We had one question around what other agents can be created. For example, someone is interested to create a mental health help sort of agent. So what what are the different use cases of workflow automation that you've seen across various domains? So whether it's in sales or people management, there should be some use case in every industry, right? So if you can take us through what you've observed, that will be great.
All right, all right. So I'd want to say that there are different use cases. When I started out with machine learning, one of the things I tell learners is that if there is data, if there is sufficient data, then there is a use case. Yeah, if there's sufficient data, then there is a use case. So the use case of agentic AI is not limited to a particular field. It cuts across several fields from customer service to IT. For example, I was using VS Code. If you know what VS Code is, it's one of the IDEs for programming. Before now, VS Code uses GitHub Copilot. However, now VS Code is currently using an agent. Yeah, so I just discovered that today. So this is me saying that there are several use cases. Yeah, finance, education. Yeah, there are several use cases. As much as you have data whereby the we have LLM, large language models out there. We have data sets, knowledge that we can fix or connect our agents to. We have a use case. So the issue might be, would we have return on investment? Now, those are now going to be very particular cases that companies would need to sit down to talk about particularly, but as to the use case, their use case cuts across different sectors out there. Thank you.
Great. So you've guided thousands of learners, Solomon. So, from your experience, when someone becomes fluent in AI or automation, or earns a certification, from a respected institution, how do you see their careers grow? How do you see them develop?
Yeah, so your career would definitely spike up. I've seen people transition from completely non-technical backgrounds to technical backgrounds and also land roles. Yeah, so certifications is very important. I think some days ago on LinkedIn, someone was talking about the importance of structured learning. Yeah, structured learning helps imbibe discipline. Yeah, so once you are able to follow a structured learning path, land a certification to show that you actually have learned this thing. And beyond certification, you are able to demonstrate that you actually can also do this thing. Then you stand a chance of, yeah, getting that career growth that you desire.
Thank you, Solomon. So, as we are on the topic of career growth, we'd also like to give all the participants a brief glimpse into one of our most sought after certificate programs in Gen AI and machine learning. This will be very quick, and we'd be launching the poll for the certification soon. So, please hang on. So this particular professional certificate program is provided by the Indian Institute of Technology (IIT) in collaboration with IBM. So you'll be earning certificates from both IIT and IBM. This program, the USP of it is that it ensures that you learn from industry experts who are or have been influencing the field already. You'll have exposure to over 15 advanced tools and work on more than 25 projects, all of which are designed to equip you with the skills that employers are seeking these days, skills that will make you stand out in the job market. Moving on, here is a quick look at the skills and tools that this program will touch upon. From prompt engineering and model training to chatbot development, machine learning algorithm, there are a lot of skills that will train you to discover the vast capabilities of AI. Solomon, it'll be great if you could offer your insights also here. How crucial is it to have a solid understanding of these commonly used AI tools? Do recruiters specifically focus on this aspect?
Yes, so the course focus on this aspect, and these are the skills that are very important, starting from understanding classical machine learning that has to do with supervised and unsupervised learning, also getting to understand ensemble learning, getting to understand model training, deep learning, and eventually transitioning to large language models, generative AIs. All of these are the skill sets that are required. One of the things a lot of people do is that they jump from the basics and they want to start building agentic AIs. Yeah, so it's actually very good if you follow a structured path. And this is one of the things learning with a boot camp, like what Simplilearn provides, is very, very helpful. Yeah, because it provides you the structure you need. You're not just trying to scout for information in like a wide ocean of several information. Yeah, you are actually being held by the hands and guided. Yeah, so these are skill sets that are very, very essential if you want to transition to any of the roles we've mentioned earlier.
Thank you, Solomon. This is the last part. Let's take a quick look at some of the industry projects included in the program. Solomon, I see projects like these, which focus on facial recognition, automating ship detection. These sound very, very fascinating. How are these
Yeah.
projects typically structured, and in what ways do they benefit the learners?
All right. So like I said, having hands-on experience is very, very important in the tech industry. So one of the ways of actually learning is picking up a project and working on that project. And all of these projects provided here would give you the technical exposure you need. It would also give you the engineering exposure you also need. For example, utilizing deep learning to automate ship detection is going to give you the exposure. You need to do things like feature engineering. You need to clean your data. All of these projects would expose you to industry level experience, industry level experience. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so that brings us to discuss the fee and financials. For those who are interested, here are the fee details. For learners in India, the fee of this program is 1,34,999 with monthly installments at just starting from just 6,045. For learners in the USA, the fee is $2,500 with monthly installments from only $300. For our audiences from other parts of the world, you can find the exact fee in your local currency on our program page, which I will be sharing in the chat right about now. Yes, additionally, I would like to mention that we also have an applied Gen AI specialization from Purdue University, along with many other programs. Please take some time to explore all that we have to offer. There will be different cohorts. There's a question on whether the classes will be on weekdays or weekends. There are weekday cohorts and weekend cohorts as well. You can check the details and sign up for whatever is convenient for you. And as we previously highlighted, graduates will earn two prestigious certifications, one from IIT Guwahati and another from IBN. The next cohort begins on 16th of December and applications will be closing shortly. So please grab this opportunity as soon as possible. And if you're wondering what after graduation, here's what you need to know. From networking opportunities, mentoring sessions, prepping for interview, and even optimizing your LinkedIn profile and updating your resume, there's a lot in store through Simplilearn's job assist support. So with that, I will be launching a poll to take your interest in enrolling the program. So please let us know your interest, whether you would like to enroll in the program or not. Even if you have any queries, you are not very sure and you want to discuss more, please click on yes. Our expert advisor will be getting in touch with you very shortly, and they will be able to guide you forward. So Solomon, while we wait for answers on the poll, maybe we can take a look at a couple of other questions. Um, yes. Okay, so there are actually quite a few people who would like your recommendation on other LLM AIP tools that they can access for free. Do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, so there are free APIs you can use. For example, the one I used there, I didn't have to provide an API key. Yeah, also Gemini, Google gives you free API, very generous actually. Google gives you free API. Group also gives you free API. Yeah, we also have some of them that are open source and they are also local, like Olama, it gives you that also. So there are free APIs out there that you can actually use. But Google gives you, OpenAI gives you, Grok gives you. These are like the most popular ones. Yeah, they are not completely free, but they give you free trial. So for example, everything I did today was completely free. Yeah, so you can practice with all of those.
Okay. Thank you, Solomon. I hope that answered a lot of people's questions. So we have gotten quite a bit of interest for enrollment. So I'm going to end the poll now. Yes. And yes, I know that everyone has been waiting for the attendance certificate. So let me launch another poll where you can enter your full name. We will generate the certificate and share with you on email within the next 48 working hours. If in case there is any issue and you've not been able to receive the certificate, or if there's any issue with the certificate, please write to us at webinars@simplilearn.net, and we will be able to resolve and get back to you. Yes. Solomon, let's take like a couple of just last questions as we come very near to wrapping up the session.
All right.
Okay. What are some indicators that indicate that it's time to graduate from our agentic system to model context protocol system?
Okay, so how I would answer that question to say that MCP is one of the tools, I'm going to call it tools. MCP is one of the tools that are actually used for agentic AI systems. Yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily say that you would graduate. For example, what I did here, I didn't have to use any SMP because I'm not putting anything into production. It was more like a demonstration. Yeah, but when you need to start putting things into production, when you need to interact with databases, yeah, you need to use MCP. Yeah, so I wouldn't say there's necessarily a graduation from agentic AIs to MCP. It's one of the tools you can use within agentic AI.
Okay, great. Thank you. The last question that we're going to take is, can two agents work in the same space or separately? If so, how can they reconcile any conflict?
Okay, so if I get what you mean, let me start by saying how they reconcile conflict. You see that when building the agent, one of the things I did was specify the role, specify the goal, specify the description and the expected outcome for all of the different agents. That is to ensure that there are no conflicts. So we had 3 agents working together, each having their distinct role, distinct goal, distinct description. I said something called context engineering. So when we do our context engineering properly, we ensure that there is no everybody does his tasks. Yeah, there is no conflict between 2 agents or more agents. Yeah, so that's how we ensure that everybody does his tasks. And if you are talking about 2 different agentic AI systems deployed to a particular software, of course, that can happen. For example, we can have different machine learning models powering YouTube and Facebook. We can also have different agentic AI systems, yeah, and they are not going to work in conflict. That has to do with deploying them and ensuring that we put them into production properly. Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with the building per se.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much, Solomon. I hope that answers the question. So, Solomon, this has been a very great session. Even though I'm not from a technical background, this session like makes me believe that even I can learn how to automate, and I can automate workflows on my own. So, thank you for sharing your knowledge and being a great guide. It's been a pleasure hosting you. Do you have any final remarks to share? Any advice for our learners?
All right, I will start by saying thank you so much for having me. It's also been a wonderful time speaking to everybody here. My advice to learners is that a structured learning path is actually very important. It saves you the hurdle of trying to get information on your own, because there's a lot of things out there in the field of AI. But with a structured learning path, you are kept away from what we call the noises and you are focused on the essentials. Also, beyond learning, beyond the boot camp, having to work on projects yourself, it's very, very important. So like after this demo, you can check out through AI yourself to see how you want to demonstrate or try to build what we've learned and maybe take it further. Basically, having something to show forth that you actually can do this is very, very, very important. Yeah, so that will be all from me. Thank you so much. And yeah, it's been nice having this session.
Thank you, Solomon. And I think with those wise words, we are wrapping up this session. Apologies to anyone whose questions have not been answered. We had a lot of queries coming our way. We will try to get back to you if we can after the session as well on email. If you have any concerns or any questions that you still want answered or any even feedback to share, please write to us at webinars@simplilearn.net. And once again, thank you all the participants for spending the last 1.5 hours with us. We hope that you'll be able to apply this learning as well as learning from our programs to get ahead in your career. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, guys.